Welcome back. As you probably know, raising a child costs a lot of money, and then there are college costs on top of that. Well, here to help you get a great financial plan set in place is Andrew Wilson from Merrill Edge. Andrew, good to have you back on the show.
Dave, great being back. Definitely appreciate it.
It's always good to see you, my man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you look so dapper.
Well, it is back to school, so I have to dress to impress, right?
Is this your back to school wardrobe?
It absolutely is.
Right.
Yep.
First day of third grade, you were wearing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is stunning to me. A recent report estimates the cost of raising a child up to age 18 is almost $250 grand, and that's before you even factor in college?
Correct. So USDA came out with that report, $250,000 is what you'll probably be spending to raise your child even before they go to college. So diapers, childcare, clothes, etc. We're not talking about the expensive diapers, we're talking about the no-frills diapers, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Wow, that is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I mean, I guess kids are getting iPhones and iPads and gold-plated beepers and stuff, like maybe not beepers anymore, but
right.
yeah, so I would imagine it kind of adds up.
Absolutely.
Maybe there's something to be said for having your 8-year-old really do that lemonade stand.
We talked about that last time, and I think it's a great choice. It's a great choice for them.
Listen, earn your own money.
That's right.
All right, so obviously, given those parameters, let's talk about some things that parents can do, some strategies they can start working on to start saving some money.
Absolutely. So as we've spoken a couple segments in the past, for our listeners, have a picture, paint a picture for yourself, right? So your picture could be of retirement, your picture could be of college savings for your kid, it could be a vacation, whatever that picture is. Paint the picture, involve your family, I think is the key to really get them involved and really wanting to meet a goal, right? So these are all goals we're talking about. Retirement is a goal, college saving is a goal, vacation planning is a goal, right? So involving your kids early and often, your spouse, I think is very important, right? So have a goal in mind, paint a picture of what you want it to look like.
Okay.
Right?
So I think a good goal would be scholarship.
Okay. So interesting. You brought up an interesting question. So I had a conversation with my two boys. My youngest one, Evan, who's 8. My oldest one, Ben, who's 12. We love skiing, as I mentioned to you before. So my whole thought was, if you want to go skiing, I want to see all A's. Progress report came out yesterday. My little one has all A's. My older one has all A's except one B. That's an issue in his mind, right? I guess my point is really having them understand scholarships. I love it. But I think us as parents, we really have to dedicate a little bit more time and resources to really finding out what's the best plan for us, but also involve the kids, right?
I need to ask, I think everyone's wondering, the 1B, are you going to overlook that and let them go skiing?
So that's a great question. So the 1B, what Benjamin is doing is he's actually doing an extracurricular project right now, which will make up for that B if he gets it in the end of the year.
Man,
right?
You're tough though.
Right,
you don't just let it slide. You make him do the extracurricular.
Right.
Wow.
I think they appreciate it more after that, right?
Yeah, maybe. We'll have your kids on next interview.
Excellent, excellent.
We'll ask them. All right, so you have this plan. You want your kids to go to college. You want a vacation. But give me some specific parameters. Okay, so your plan is to save money for your kids to go to school. So what are some ways you can invest or tuck some money away, to really kind of make that happen?
Khan Academy came out with a survey stating that 63% of Americans were having problems with their finances, and it's based on the fact that they don't plan for the future, right? With that being said, it's really important that you do have a plan, right? Have a plan, speak with a financial advisor, have a budget, creating some type of a budget for yourself. So we all have a budget for emergency. We have a budget for our mini vacations that we take down in Naples or Key West. Have a budget for college, right? And once again, involve your kids as well.
Right.
So I think having those buckets, if you will, to place the monies in every month or quarterly or yearly will really help arrive at that goal.
What about someone or a family that's not necessarily flush with cash? They're scraping by, they're doing okay. Can they invest? In other words, when does someone go from kind of paycheck to paycheck to being able to invest? If someone was sitting in front of you, what would you tell them?
Right, so I would say stop saving, and that sounds a little odd, but stop saving, start investing.
Okay.
Investing in your future, right? And some of the ways that we can invest in our future, take a look at your employee-sponsored plans. You have your 401k. What about a flexible spending account? What about a dependent spending account? These are all accounts that allow, especially the flexible spending account or the dependent care spending account, it allows us to fulfill on our needs for our kids. So whether it be daycare or medicine or what have you, on a pre-tax basis, it'll free up a little bit more money for you to really invest in that college plan or that mini vacation in the future.
Okay, and now you've got kids who are in high school. They're a year or two away from going to college, and you're realizing that, wow, college costs a lot of money. And sadly, my child is not going to win a scholarship to play football or ice dance or whatever.
Sure.
What do you do?
Great question. I definitely say get them involved. You want to make sure that, I think, to have onus on them. Onus meaning maybe get a job, as hard as that may sound, teaching the disciplines in the very beginning. So I would want to say, and I'd hope our listeners would take to heart, you have a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, start talking about money right now. You don't necessarily have to open up the books and this is what I pay for gas, this is what I pay for the mortgage, but start talking in very simple terms to our young kids about money and how important it is to really start saving. Now back to we're a sophomore in high school, getting ready for college. What do? We can still save. We can still save. We can still implement the same buckets that we are doing for our younger kids. It's going to be a little bit more daunting.
You brought up something really interesting a minute ago as not only an advisor but a parent. When you talk to your kids about saving money, are there some practical things that kids can do, and maybe either from an investing standpoint or even from like a lemonade stand standpoint? Just how do kids get caught up in the idea of what it means to save money?
Lemonade stand is great.
Yeah.
In school, I think they implement booster classes or booster type programs where you're actually going and selling a newspaper or you're selling coupon booklets to your friends. That's a great way for them to understand about money. I think if you have them do chores around the house, I know I hate doing laundry and I hate sweeping, so I'll have my kids do it, right? Delegation, as we say. But with that, I'll monetize them with $1, $5, whatever the case may be. They can do one of two things with it. They can spend it however they see fit, or they can save it. My thought is spend a little, save a little, just like we do every day.
And the last thing regarding that is if all else fails, just homeschool, right?
Homeschool, yeah. That is an option, right. I wouldn't be too
keen on it?
Yeah, I wouldn't be too keen on it myself, right.
Right. Believe it or not, we're out of time. If people want to reach out to you, ask you some questions, how can they do that?
Merrilledge.com is the best way. Take a look at our roadmap. It really helps our listeners out there, really give them a plan of attack when they're going into the future. The other website that I'll mention will be bettermoneyhabits.com through the Khan Academy. It takes the complex, makes it very simple for our listeners and our readers to really dive into their future, goals, aspirations, what have you.
All right, well, this was great. Always good to have you on, Andrew.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
We'll see you again soon. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Coming up, from sports to music, food, and more, it is your complete September social calendar across South Florida. We've got it for you. Stick around.